Hi, welcome to Nutrisystem Live. It is so great to see you again. We are here at Ask the Expert on Nutrisystem Live, and today we'll be talking about flex meals and sort of the challenges that they can present to you. And we have our on-site expert, Kelly, who is going to help answer some of your questions with...
Hi guys, my name is Kelly. I'm in the counseling department. I went to school for health and physical education, so Nutrisystem and nutrition, exercising is a huge passion of mine. Really, for me, it's just the one thing that I do have control of. I mean, I think everybody can agree that life kind of throws some things at you sometimes, but really, health and nutrition is the one thing that you do have control over. So shoot me any of your questions.
It's true. The only thing that you have is your health. Your health and what you put into your body. So health and nutrition, those two things are really important. So we put a post up earlier with a question letting you know that we were going to do this with Kelly, and some of the questions that came over. One was from Debbie L. She said, what about other nutrients and sodium content? It's overwhelming to put together a truly healthy meal. There are so many components: calories, fat, sodium, and protein. Where do you start? I'm thinking not only of my family, but of myself. So, Kelly, what do you have to say to Debbie about...
So the great thing about Nutrisystem is that we've got it all figured out for you already. As long as you follow the power fuels and the smart carbs, the suggestions that we give you, you're good to go. So in your daily tracker, which you should be writing in, it's a really great source for you to utilize. In there, it actually says how to create a flex meal. So for women, for lunch, it could be one power fuel and one smart carb. All really you have to do is flip to the front of that book. There's a big list of power fuels, a big list of smart carbs. You can just pick out one from one list and one from the other list. Nutrisystem, we've already figured out which good power fuels are for you. The smart carbs, all you have to do is just pick one from one list.
That actually sounds kind of simple. Just pick one from the list. Go to the tracker, look at the meals. And actually, while we're on the daily tracker, we had another question from Heather R. She wanted to know about the daily tracker. She says it has information in there where it has flex lunches and flex suppers listed, but what about breakfast? And for those meals, is there an ideal calorie range, or should she just focus on the power fuels and smart carbs? Although it did sound like you just answered that, but if you could answer that again as far as regarding a flex meal with breakfast. So.
Yeah, you can absolutely create yourself a flex meal for breakfast. Nutrisystem, we do give you all the breakfast that you need, but if you wanted to create your own, just say you're on vacation or you have a breakfast date with somebody, that's absolutely fine too. We do have a source that's called the Day Off Guide that we would definitely email our members if they have any questions about that. In order to create a flex breakfast, it would be 2 power fuels and 1 smart carb. So that could be 2 eggs and a piece of whole grain toast. It could be 2 eggs and a serving of fruit. So you absolutely can do that. You just kind of have one extra breakfast at the end of the month for yourself too.
That breakfast actually sounds pretty good. And I don't think I've ever actually had a breakfast date. So that actually sounds pretty good too. So get to go on a breakfast date, and you get to have a special meal, and you get to still, eat healthy and stay with the program. So Rachel W says that she's been talking to some people on Nutrisystem groups, and they have had some issues with PMS. I know it's an issue that nobody wants to talk about, but they were saying, is this something that can be expected or with the program? So, I know what I would say, but let me just shoot this to you.
Sure, understandable. I'm a girl, I get it. But when you first get started on the program, it's always a good idea to check with your doctor, let them know that you are changing things up and losing some weight with Nutrisystem. Other than that, it is normal to see, fluctuations and things like that when you do get started with any program. So it's normal to be a little bit irritable, to be weak, but as far as that's concerned, definitely make sure you check with your doctor first.
Checking in with a doctor, it's a good idea. We know this. Checking in with a doctor is good when you're starting the program, if you have problems, or if you run into any kind of questions with that we can't answer for you. Doctor's always an excellent resource, so definitely go there. So we actually have a question from Lynn T. She says, I don't see flex meals for diabetic plans. So do we have some of those? So shoot it back to you. Can you answer Lynn's question?
Okay, you're right. So with the diabetic program, we don't provide the flex meals, just because with Nutrisystem, we do provide you with everything, just so that we can regulate the blood levels and things like that and make it a more regulated program for you. But if you wanted to create your own meal, just make some healthy options. If you were, I would definitely advise to utilize counseling and talk to us first about how to create one for yourself for sure.
Counseling. It's where she lives. I mean, it is. She and the team that are up there, they're ready to take your questions. If you have any of these types of things that are available, they're ready to help you out. So that's part of the deal with Nutrisystem. If you want to call, you've got a question, Kelly can answer the phone. She's up there waiting. So we had another question from Lori. Is there a way to make Nutrisystem more affordable? So this, I know she takes this one too.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to say. I wish I could help you guys out. That's just the way that it is for the program. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So there are options. So if you have a special need or something like that, again, if you call Nutrisystem and we can try to help or something like that. Again, if you call Nutrisystem and we can try to help with that. We try to assist. There are some coupons and those types of things that we can definitely shoot you towards those types of places and see if there's a way that can be assisted with that. So getting back to you, Kelly, just so we can learn a little bit more about you. So tell us, what is your favorite Nutrisystem meal?
This is an easy one. I love the mushroom stuffed chicken for dinner. It's my absolute favorite. Also for breakfast, the muffins are amazing. A quick breakfast that you can make because, you have to, on the program, you're adding in a power fuel with breakfast. I always get the muffin and cut it in half and add my peanut butter inside and warm it up, and it's really, really good. And the desserts are awesome too.
We did not hear what kind of muffin specifically. Could you be more specific?
Yes, the banana nut with peanut butter is amazing.
Banana nut muffin. See, I have the double chocolate muffin is absolutely my favorite. But people like the banana nut muffin. They go nuts for that with putting the peanut butter on there. We've had a theme about peanut butter recently. Well, people really like peanut butter who like the muffins. But so this is great. So what else about you, Kelly? So can you tell us? So being part of Nutrisystem is kind of a unique job for most people. So why did you decide to be a counselor? Tell us what it means to be a counselor and what does it look like for you every day?
Absolutely, and that's a great question too. It really does tie back into my passion for health and fitness and for helping people as well. People call in kind of discouraged, and if they haven't seen the weight loss that they're looking for. And it's also very important to recognize that not all success is seen by pounds lost on the scale, and that's one of the first things I'll tell people. They say that I haven't seen any pounds lost, but I've seen some inches, which is phenomenal because if you think about it, if you have a pound of muscle in one hand and a pound of fat in the other hand, they're both a pound. They're both going to weigh the same thing, but the muscle is much more lean, so it's going to take up less room. So that in that case, you may see the scale not quite budge, but you're losing fat, you're holding on to that nice lean muscle, which you can do because Nutrisystem is high in protein.
Victories that are not just the scale, inches, turning fat into muscle. These are all good things, and these are all things that you can look forward to when you're on Nutrisystem or when you're trying to lose weight. So let's see. Alexa has a question. I'm only 3 weeks into the program, and flex meals make me a bit nervous. Creating my own flex meals worries me a bit because it makes me feel like I'm going to go off the program. Do you have any advice? Now, actually, I get this because you're like in the zone with Nutrisystem, and you're like, this is working. I'm losing weight. If I try to choose and make a meal for myself, holy cow, I might gain weight. So why don't you help Alexa?
Absolutely, that's a really good question too. So it's probably the biggest reaction I get as well when I'm initially telling people about the program. I'll say we give you breakfast, lunch, and dinner, snack, but you do have your 2 flex meals per week, your 1 lunch and your 1 dinner per week, and they kind of freak out like, I gotta do what? So really the flex meals are important for so many reasons. First, it changes things up and it switches up that metabolism so that you can, lose the weight that you need to. And definitely utilize counseling. Before you do your first flex meal, call into us and we'll take the worry off of you. But if you think about in the daily tracker, it says Nutrisystem entree or flex meal. So pretty much 6 times a week, Nutrisystem gives you the entree. Once a week, you are creating it for yourself. And you're really not veering from the program too much. For example, for the women for lunch, it says 1 power fuel, 1 smart carb. Like I alluded to before, all you have to do is flip to the front of that booklet, pick out your favorite smart carb, pick out your favorite power fuel, and that's it. I mean, it could be fruit and yogurt, it could be banana and peanut butter. So it's really not that intimidating. At the same time, it does give you the opportunity to have a little bit of a social life too. If you wanted to dine out with your friends and family, we do give you a little dining out guide, which is this right here. And you can flip through. We even have specific meal types. We have different meal occasions. So you can look through, pick out different restaurants, and we have it right there and what it counts for the Nutrisystem, diet as well.
Smart carbs. We have heard a lot about smart carbs, but what we haven't heard is what's your favorite smart carb. So why don't you tell us what yours is?
Okay, so I have 2. Very portable. You can take it with you anywhere. I always shove it in my purse. Just a quick tip, I always bring one smart carb and 1 power fuel wherever I go, just in case I get caught somewhere. I always have like an apple and nuts or a banana and nuts for me. Also, I like a half a cup of whole wheat pasta. I am Italian, so having that definitely feels like I still can keep, my favorites going.
It turns out that you can be Italian and eat whole wheat pasta, and your family will not disown you. So you may have whole wheat pasta, and it can be a success for you. So we have some more questions about making the program more affordable. So there's a way to do that with getting your frozen vegetables and or canned vegetables and washing those. So did you
Sure.
have some extra suggestions on that?
Buying in bulk is a great decision too. So you go to Costco and you buy in bulk with a bunch of veggies. If you do can, because they are cheaper, just make sure that you give them a thorough rinse before you use those canned veggies, just because they do tend to be a little bit higher in sodium. So thoroughly rinsing them is going to take away the excess sodium. But buying in bulk and buying those frozen veggies are definitely good for you too.
Excellent advice. So we've heard about your favorite smart carbs, but what we haven't heard is how do you get in your daily 3? Because we not always have a great time getting the daily 3 in, but I know you do.
Absolutely. So like I said before, fitness is a huge passion of mine. I do it right after work. I shoot right over to the gym. I don't give myself any time to think about excuses. I pack my bag the night before, and this could be a running theme throughout the entire program. Pre-planning ahead. I have my gym bag in my car, ready to go. You can set yourself up for success. And kind of like how I touched on, studies kind of have shown that the more that you write things down, the more likely you are to stick to them. So if you write things down the night before of exactly what you're eating with Nutrisystem, even get yourself a little basket or a little tub and kind of put everything in there for the next day, and put everything else out of sight. You just have your little basket, that's what you're eating out of. So pre-planning is huge too.
If you don't prepare, then you prepare to fail. Did I mess up that one? I don't know. I think that there's something along that. Another lady, Brenda, says, I'm a diabetic and didn't have much luck. And she just, I will say, I was just diagnosed all the time. Well, I am sorry, Brenda, that you didn't have success. But we, did you want to address that? But I think it's a tough thing. I mean, we do have a diabetic program, and we do have a lot of people who are successful in it. But it's not a one diet fits all. There's other diets that could be just as successful for people. So let's see, what other questions do we have here? I think we got them all. So let's go back to, I know a lot of people like the shakes. So how do you get your shakes in, and what do you do with them? And do those work with power fuels and smart carbs?
Yeah.
Or how does that work? So Get the expert over here.
Yeah, that's a great question. We get that a lot. The way that the Turbo Shake, which is the great one with the probiotics, antioxidants, it's got over 22 vitamins and minerals. The probiotics work really well with the digestive system. The way that that's counted as one power fuel, so, you know, on both the standard men and women program, you have 3 power fuels a day. So pretty much wherever it is convenient for you. I mean, for me, it's most convenient between my breakfast and lunch. I mean, I don't get too much time to, you know, kind of sit down and eat a meal. And I think a lot of people can relate to that as well. Not all of us are just sitting around. We do have lives, we have work, we have families. So wherever it's most convenient for you, your busiest time of day, throw in a shake for your power fuel and you're good to go. So we also have another shake, the NutriCrust shake. That actually counts for a power fuel and a smart carb at the same time. So it's a double whammy there. And the best time to get that in for women would be, you know, between lunch and dinner. For men, it might be between breakfast and lunch, or you can add it onto your lunch. Again, wherever it's most convenient for you, where you're most busy, you can just shake it up with the water and you're good to go.
The NutriCrust shake, it is pretty good. Come on, you've had it. It's good. So, Beth wants to know, what's the best way to get past a plateau? So that's actually a great question. So I'll let you take that one for Beth.
Yeah, that's another great question. You guys are full of them today. Pretty much it depends on where you're at in your journey, how long you've been on the program, how much weight you're looking to lose. It's, you know, it's a little bit discouraging, but we get you through it. So what we really need to do when you hit a plateau is kind of trick that metabolism, constantly trick that metabolism so that you get past that. I might ask you what you're using for your power fuels. For example, if you're having dairy or eggs, they do have, you know, the healthy fats in them, but a good way to cut that fat out right away is just to switch all your power fuels over to a lean meat. That way they're almost zero fat, they have lots of protein, or maybe bumping up your exercise if you can. Sometimes we will ask you to do a little bit more of an intense daily 3 if you can. Or another great thing that we suggest is maybe switching around your lunches and dinner occasions for a week. So have a dinner for a lunch and a lunch for a dinner. That way, again, we are constantly, you know, honing in on that metabolism and tricking it so that you can get past that plateau.
What about the breakfast date? Can we go back to the breakfast date where you can like do the flex meal for the breakfast? Actually, just kidding. But it is great to switch lunch and dinner around if you're hitting a plateau, and then, you know, working those flex meals in so that, you know, again, you're tricking your metabolism, saying, hey, metabolism, I don't know what you're doing here, but we need to lose weight. So Kayla says she usually drinks her shakes after a workout. Is that a good idea? I think Kayla's onto something here.
Yeah, it definitely is a good idea. So especially after you work out, you know, replenishing your body with some protein is a great idea. Before your body can even think about losing weight, it does need to be fueled the right way. So quickly replenishing yourself. If you need to switch things around a little bit, that's okay. Definitely talk to us and we can help you see how you can switch those around, still get all the nutrients that you need for the day. But that's a great idea.
So can I just put that on its head? So does it matter if you have, because this is for me now.
Yeah.
Does it matter if you have the shake before you work out or after you work out? I know Kayla's is onto a good thing here, but while you were talking, I was thinking, wait a second, maybe there's a science here. So is there?
Sure. Especially for people that are really working out strenuously, working up a good sweat and getting their heart rate up, I would always suggest to replenish yourself with protein afterward. If it is a really strenuous workout, I would probably suggest even adding in maybe a good carb source before. That way you have the energy, and then afterward get that good protein in with that protein shake. That way you're replenishing your body.
But that was like, maybe I'm not. So Janet says she's lost 22 pounds since April 12th. And is that a good weight loss? It's under a half a pound a day. Wow, that's actually really good. Can you also explain the peanut butter idea again? I just got in the middle of the conversation. So welcome, Janet, and congratulations on your weight loss. My goodness, half a pound a day, but I'll let the expert handle that one.
Yeah, first of all, congratulations. That's absolutely amazing. 22 pounds since April. I haven't heard a number like that in a while. That's fantastic. Typically what we tell people, the average person, the healthy rate of weight loss is about 2 pounds per week. You have to be careful with daily fluctuations. So we do ask, just weigh yourself once a week, pick a special weigh-in day, and weigh yourself. But a half a pound is fantastic. And again, it does depend on the individual. So somebody who has, 100 pounds to lose, it kind of melts off of them like butter at first. For somebody who has 10 pounds to lose, it is going to be a longer process for them, just because their body doesn't have too much more fat to let go of. So that person might take my suggestion before of just using lean meats for the power fuels, or really incorporating some exercise. But everybody is individual, but you are seeing some great results for us. That's awesome. Congratulations.
I know, I'd like to channel whatever stuff you got going on there, Janet. But Janet had part 2 of this, is she wanted you to explain the peanut butter idea again. So I think the banana nut muffin that you were talking about. So I think she wants to hear about that again.
Yeah, so for somebody, it could be both men and women. The standard structure, they have an entree and a power fuel that they have to have for their breakfast to have a complete breakfast occasion. So I was saying, one of my favorite things to do to kind of tie those two together, I would get a banana nut muffin and just kind of cut it in half and put it in the microwave for just about 10-15 seconds. It doesn't need long. And then just get a tablespoon of peanut butter and put it in the middle and kind of make like a little peanut butter sandwich with my banana nut muffin. It's really good.
I don't know. Now that I'm hearing about it a little more, I don't know if it's going to ever compete with my double chocolate muffin. So what other questions? Oh, she's also 69 years old. Holy cow.
Wow.
Well, congratulations,
Yes.
Janet. Tina. Oh, Tuana wants to know, what are some healthy recipes that are good for me? So if maybe you can tell her where to get those.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of different suggestions. Again, call on in to us. We're full of them. For somebody, if you like spices, those spices, Mrs. Dash is salt-free. You can have unlimited amounts of that. Red pepper flakes are also my go-to for adding them to vegetables. Also, we have a lot of great recipes on the Leaf. That's leaf.nutrisystem.com, and you see a bunch of great recipes for you.
All right, good stuff. So I think we're going to try to take 2 more questions. David is, let's see. I'm about to start my weekend my way plan, and then once my frozen box comes, I can't afford Turbo 10 or protein shake, but I have my own protein shake. Hold on, I gotta see more here. If we do our own shake, how do we know if it's just a power or a carb? I don't know. It's
That's another good question. The way that you would see that is just seeing what you want that to be in your program. If you're looking for one power fuel in your daily tracker, it does tell you how to create one power fuel. So if you're veering from the program, which you can do, one power fuel is between 80 and 120 calories with at least 5 grams of protein. Also, it's important to recognize also when you're going on your own that you just need to be conscious of the sodium content, of the sugar content. In addition to that, if you're looking for a smart carb, same kind of content, the 80 to 120 calories, but it does need to have at least 1 gram of fiber. Yep.
She's one smart lady. She knows stuff. This is good stuff. So we were going to do one more question. Why doesn't peanut butter count as a power fuel? You know the answer to that?
It does.
It does. I thought it did too.
It is a power fuel.
Yeah, Julie wants to know, why doesn't peanut butter count? Anyway,
It does count as your power
it
fuel.
does count. Well, Julie, it turns out peanut butter does count as your power fuel. So, so I think we have taken quite a few questions, and I think that we are on a great track here. But I thought that we would just close out. If you had any last words that you wanted to share with Nutrisystem Live, we have
Sure.
a bunch of viewers tuned in right now.
Yeah, thank you guys for asking your questions. They were phenomenal. Again, if you have any more, or if you see this later, definitely call into us. We're waiting for you to call. And just always remember, the biggest tip is not every success is seen by pounds lost on the scale, like I said before. I had somebody call in who was ecstatic that they could bend down and tie their shoes again. So it's the little things. You have to keep the little goals in mind. That way you don't overwhelm yourself with the bigger picture. Stay motivated. Remember why you started, and the best person to invent your future is yourself. So that's it.
I said she was smart. She's a smart lady. I like this. So thank you so much for tuning into Nutrisystem Live. We loved having you. We'll be here again in 2 weeks to do our Ask the Expert Live again. And if you like this, please subscribe. So when this closes out, you can hit the subscribe button so that when we go live, you know that we'll be here. And thank you, Kathy. It was a fun chat.